It's Michelle Dortanack from Unata Aerial Yoga, and welcome inside my hammock, where I get to share with you my innermost thoughts. Today, I'm actually going to share with you my process for what I do, the steps I take when I make the full-length class videos. So, it all starts with my home practice. I practice yoga daily, and it's so that I can balance out my body and my mind. And, so that means a lot of times that my practice looks a little different every day. Sometimes I use the hammock and sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. And some of those days, at the end, I think, wow, that sequence was a really nice sequence that I think other people would also enjoy. And so I want to share it. So what I do with that is I immediately go and I write it down. I write it down for my own memory, but I also write it down so that I can see the sequence from the outside so that I'm not feeling it. I'm looking at it with a more intellectual mind and, the intellectual mind that also had all the education stuffed into it as well. Then what I'll do is I'll practice that sequence every day for at least 4 days, sometimes up to a week. And each day I'm going through this sort of activity where I practice it physically, and then also what winds up happening is intuitively, instinctively in a way. And whatever changes come out of that or arise out of that, I'll add to the written page, to the written form, and then I'll look at that intellectually as well. So by the end of those 4 days or a week, what it winds up happening is by constant revisions, it makes the most sense, both from an intuitive point of view and, over time too, not just like on that one day, but over time, as well as an educated and intellectual point of view, like, it's well-rounded as well. So then I'm ready to film it. And I set up my camera and I do this filming in one take. So it's all just one long take. And then I'll come back later and film some maybe close-up parts or a different camera angle, and I'll edit that into the one take video. I'll also add in some overdubs sometimes of, maybe just a little bit of yoga philosophy or, something about the breathing or a little extra instruction in there if I felt it needs it, or stuff like that. Or sometimes I throw in teacher's notes, like what was I thinking as from a teacher's point of view, like why did I make this decision here at this time? Then, of course, I upload it somewhere where people can watch it. But, honestly, it doesn't stop there. I have one more step to do, and that is that I edit the transcript. So AI does a pretty good job of making an automatic transcript of closed captions of what, is said in the video. But it's not perfect, and sometimes it's actually quite confusing. It mishears things or makes things up or just omits a word here or there, whatever. So I edit it for clarity, and also because I know that a lot of people who watch these videos, English is not their first language. It's maybe not even a language they speak at all. And so they're going to rely on using some sort of translation tool to translate that transcript. So the clearer that transcript can be, probably the better for them. And so I make sure to do that extra step just to, make sure that they're getting the best experience they can from the video. And that's what I'm doing. I'm pouring my heart and soul into it, and I hope that you really do benefit from them and you enjoy them. There's one final step that I would do if you wish, and that's that when you watch the video, if something was confusing or you didn't understand this or that, or a question arose or popped into your head for whatever reason, you can send it to me and I will answer it. I'd be happy to answer it. Thanks for joining me inside my hammock. And once again, I'm Michelle Dortanack of Unata Aerial Yoga.